I'm the eldest boy. I'm trying to make a chatty get ready with me. I have a bad attention span, and I am multitasking with the Dynasty, the Murdochs documentary on Netflix. I love Succession, so I will be coding Succession. I'm on episode 2 right now. So for priming, I am gonna be using the Yummy Skin Universal Blurring Balm Powder. I usually just add it in my porous areas. So I really have bad acne recently. Damn. And then where I get oily, there you go. So I really love Succession as a show, and my favorite is definitely Kendall Roy. And I do know it was inspired by the Murdochs in general. So I have to watch this. Watching the first episode, I kept on actually quoting in season 1. Well, not season 1, but like the show in general. So let's just wait it sit. So if I'm not like looking at the camera, it's mainly because my iPad is on the other side. So I've been wanting to try the Hourglass skin tint and the Hourglass Luminous Glow Foundation, but of course they're very, very expensive. So I'm gonna try looking at the camera. I'm really bad at this. But I decided to get a decant. And it's just like for 1 gram, just to try if it suits me. I bought from this seller before, and they actually give good product for it. So they place it in like small jars. So now I'll be trying the skin tint.
James goes over to work for Star TV in Asia.
Oh, so Star is with
James is 27 years old at this point. He's had really no meaningful corporate experience. People at News Corp thought it was a suicide mission. There was no reason to believe that a green 27-year-old could go to Hong Kong and turn around a company that had lost, I think, in recent years, $100 million. But James, I think, was excited by the challenge, excited that his dad seemed to trust him, and earnestly went out there believing that he could do big things there.
You know, guys, Connor Roy has been interested in politics from a very young age. And I'm not a con head. I'm a Kendall girly through and through. But I really just like
James
saying.
is very willing to look the other way when it comes to human rights abuses in China.
Okay, so I have the Hourglass tint. I am gonna be using the BK Beauty 101 brush. It's very thin. Obviously light coverage since it's a skin tint. Doesn't really cover anything. But it gives, I think, a very nice glow.
And being a kind of ruthless businessman.
His early assignments,
I think it evens out the skin tone. So you can see at least some of my redness, it's still peeking through. So I kind of now understand what people say when they comment that you use this when you want to feel, I mean, when your skin is skinning. Skinning is a weird word for it because kind of reminds me of Silence of the Lambs. But okay, this is good.
Doing anything for you
I-
rather than wasting time and money. He is
This is nice.
unsuccessful
This seems
in
nice.
opening up China to the degree that they
Okay,
had
so next will be
James has always had a pretty
my
high
items are
performance,
here, so I'm
and I
like
think
always
he
do
was
that.
incredibly competitive
I'm gonna
in the
try.
market, so
This
I
is the
think he
Natasha
would go
Denona Hy-Glam Concealer, which is my favorite.
Thank you so much, Shaker. It's good to be here.
He pivots the growth
under
strategy to
eyes.
India, where he develops a big new slate of programming, including
I'm thinking of discovering
an Indian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire,
this acne
which becomes
later
a
with a
national
pimple
sensation.
patch. So whenever I do that, I just
He
don't
also
really
sees
touch it
a lot
with
of
products or just wipe it with
organizational
micellar water
mismanagement
afterwards.
and
Then
chaos.
spot conceal here,
James had to
here.
instill a professional corporate culture.
So ever since I started doing my makeup, my favorite
Within, I
is
think, 2 years of
the
his time,
NARS Radiant
Star
Creamy
turned a
Concealer.
profit in
I
Asia.
repurchased it.
James
I
actually
just
remembers
finished
coming down
mine,
for a board meeting one day
recently.
and having one of the
So,
directors pull him aside
I
and
know
say,
that the Natasha
"I didn't think you
Denona
had
went
anything
viral
for
for a
crafts."
reason, and I mean it's for good reason. Tried it, really in love with it. It's now at par with my Radiant Creamy Concealer.
And when they would get
So,
in the
we just let it
room
there.
at these board meetings, it was an opportunity
Leave it
for
there,
both of
sorry.
them to perform for their
I don't have a
father.
script, so I'm just like making this up as I
And
go.
I think maybe
Then I'm gonna be using
implicitly
the
to
Saie
compete with
double
each other
brush
in front of their father.
to push the concealer in.
James would come in challenging every point that Lachlan made. They were bickering a lot.
Roman and
Some
Kendall.
people who remember those moments will say that they felt bad for Lachlan and that it was awkward for everyone involved. But the fact that James was succeeding started a lot of speculation inside the News Corp headquarters about whether James would actually overtake his older brother to become the successor.
So it's nice. I actually have color correctors, but I decided not to use them for now.
The confines of the New York News Corp headquarters, working at Fox News.
I'll let this stay
Sort of was
for
quite
longer.
lazy by some people, was quite arrogant by some people, was quite pleased with himself by some people. Now that may be unfair, but it's a recurrent story that you get.
But
It
his
was
words
able to
carried
cover
a
that
certain
really
amount of weight, maybe a
red
disproportionate amount of weight,
acne.
because
So
his
that acne is
analysis
actually already dry. It's
and
just
there
really
were certain
that
people in
inflamed
the
for some
company,
reason. So you see, there's still
like
some redness
Roger
peeking
Ailes,
through, but
really
that's
resented
okay
how much
because
respect
we
Lachlan
like it
commanded.
that way.
The impression at Fox at the time was that they were babysitting.
So while we let everything do its thing,
Lachlan knew that he had to
I am gonna
prove
get
himself
the
at a
Huda
pretty
Beauty
significant moment
Easy
for
Bake.
Fox
I
News.
have the Baby Bake one. I don't want to commit because I have like the bigger Makeup by Mario one. But I've been reaching for this recently, more often recently, mainly because it's very blurring.
Into the second
It has this
tower.
very cute puff,
9/11 and a terrorist attack
I
on the
used
United
to
States
usually
was a
just
perfect
set
moment for Fox.
makeup on my forehead.
They were taking advantage of a broad fear in the American public and harnessing it and running with it.
You know how some influencers or people, when they do this, they tap it on the lid, the powder. I don't know, I just find it messy, but it's just me. And I'm a very, very chaotic person, so I'd very much spill the powder on the floor.
Government offices and many
Well, let's
businesses.
just
All Americans know,
set it
recent weeks
here.
have brought a second wave of terrorist attacks upon our country.
Add
Deadly
more.
anthrax spores sent through the U.S. mail.
In just a week's time, we have had 4 confirmed cases of anthrax, all with media connections.
America has always stood for human freedom.
So amid this environment where everyone is on high alert,
There.
yearly Al Smith dinner hosts Roger Ailes. That also happens to be the night when they learn that an envelope full of white powder has been sent to the Fox office.
The FBI comes in,
Holy
they
crap.
identify that it is anthrax, they close off the newsroom. Lachlan is managing it.
I think
under advisement from
our
the FBI, as a kind
Concealer
of
is good to
workplace
go.
incident.
Let's just add it here.
Ailes is losing his mind. We're under attack. We're under attack. He's freaking out.
Ailes wants to go nuclear.
He's thinking this is big news, and directly against the advice of the FBI, he goes public. Fox News is under attack.
Anthrax spores mailed to this building where Fox News Channel sits.
Lachlan finds out about this, storms downstairs to confront Ailes directly. What are you doing?
Lachlan tries to calm Ailes down, but they end up verbally fighting in front of a huge number of people in the office.
This is not done to
Okay.
Roger Ailes.
He was probably
Now
the
after
only
this,
person
since we're gonna
inside
set the
news
under
operation
eyes, I'm
that
gonna
even Rupert was scared of.
Roger Ailes.
I'm gonna get the setting powder brush, setting brush.
By your children.
Ayun.
He's furious.
So I have this one from Real Techniques 402.
Roger.
I think this is also a crowd favorite, which is their setting powder brush.
Ailes a brand new contract. So Rupert
Hopefully I get to
basically
buy an
sent the
extra.
message
I
to
really
Lachlan
like this.
that you're not to cross Ailes. You're second fiddle here.
Lachlan is incredibly frustrated, incredibly insulted by all of it. And also is starting to realize that even though he's supposed to be the heir apparent, that his dad has no interest in retiring anytime soon.
It just sounds so Kendall Roy and Logan. Okay, so we have it here. We will not. I usually go in with my bronzer after.
At this point,
But-
Rupert and his third wife, Wendy Dang Murdoch, have two daughters, Grace and Chloe.
Tough
The other children were never big fans of Wendy Dang. They were skeptical of her.
Of course.
And
They left their-
James and Lachlan
he left
saw Wendy
their
as
mom for
being
her. Duh.
tough on their dad. But
Shucks,
Wendy
what's her
wanted
name?
him to keep up with her.
So I'm gonna get the Judydoll pencil.
Wendy has him under a sort of regimen. He is on a strict diet of green juice, and he's not allowed to
So for
have
the
dessert.
Judydoll pencil, I'll be
He's
using it
went
for my
through his
eyebrows.
makeover. He dyes his hair red. He starts wearing a leather jacket.
Midlife crisis at
Goes
what,
from
70?
side, established stodginess to downtown hip. It's like the fountain of youth for Rupert.
And unlike Anna, who didn't want anything to do with the business, Wendy wanted to know what was going on in the company and was very interested in it.
Wendy went everywhere with him, and she's becoming also an advisor to the company.
She was very ambitious, and she had a lot of hopes for her two daughters. She says that she wants her own children to have the same standing as Rupert's other children.
Where does that stand today, succession?
Well, the two little girls are too young to consider this at the moment.
Did you consider them, you have said they're all my children.
They'll all get treated equally financially.
He goes on Charlie Rose, and that is how his own children learn that he is slicing up the trust and giving his two youngest children an equal stake in the inheritance.
Each of the 4 elder children got paid $150 million for agreeing to include Grace and Chloe on the Murdoch Family Trust. So Rupert's 6 kids have an equal financial stake, but only the 4 eldest kids have a vote.
You ran into some buzzsaw within the family because of that decision.
We've resolved everything very happily.
In fact, it sets off a bomb with the other kids. But he doesn't apologize for this and runs roughshod over their feelings.
So for this
and their
documentary, I
desires.
actually like
We've
that
seen this
the
his entire life.
score,
When Rupert wants something,
the music is very
he will
similar
stop
to
at nothing
Succession.
to get it.
Right there.
Often, the Murdoch family, they would come together for Christmas or Thanksgiving on Rupert's super yacht called Morning Glory. James had been married to his wife Catherine for a while, and Catherine remembers these legendary games of family Monopoly that the Murdochs would play. Once, she caught Rupert cheating and called him out on it, and he just kind of smirked and shrugged. Apparently this was a common feature of their Family Monopoly games.
And that sort of tells you everything you need to know about him.
There you go.
After the changes to the trust, the family is divided.
I think let's finish the eyes. I'm gonna be using the Armani Eye Tint.
Rupert's favourite successor, Lachlan. I think there are a lot of things going on in Lachlan's head at that point. And he was still feuding with Roger Ailes. Ailes wants to get Fox Television to back.
I usually use the MAC 217S brush, but today I'll be using this deluxe crease brush or eyeshadow brush from Real Techniques. So you know this is part of like an older set because it still has this black part. So just a random yap, I love Real Techniques. It's an affordable brush brand. The oldest Real Techniques brush I have is like, I think 8 or 9 years. Doesn't shed much. I mean, it kind of lost like some hairs only, and I still use it up to this day. Just extend here. Also really bad at eyeshadow, so there. We're gonna clean that up later. So this is just like a wash of color. Another one here. So the Armani Eye Tint, I really love it, especially this shade Cashew, which I know sounds so repetitive because a lot of people like it. So I think I should have used like a blending brush.
Lachlan Murdoch will remain on the News Corporation board, but plans to return home to Australia and pursue an independent career.
Wow. To be that rich. To be that rich. Okay, I'm out of the camera again. I need to get the other blending brush that I have. I'm gonna use this diffuse crease brush from Sigma.
James Murdoch has been given a much larger role overseeing all of News Corp's European and Asian operations.
30-year-old James Murdoch was appointed the new CEO of Sky 2 weeks ago.
Everyone wants to see the value of the company grow, and that's what we're going to work to do.
James' emotion was pretty controversial. There were howls of nepotism.
So I'm gonna get the Huda Beauty again. Easy Bake.
Was going to be entrusted with this crown jewel of British broadcasting. On top of the fact that this was the job that Liz had been after.
I'm gonna take the brush to just clean up the
James,
edges.
I met with him in London. He was so arrogant, master of the universe kind of vibe. At this point, even though he hasn't gone to business school, he starts talking like he went to business school.
The abolition of media boundaries is a trumpet call to expansion, to do more.
Trumpet call to expansion.
Starts to affect a public persona that a lot of people around him suspected was modeled after Rupert.
Roman Roy.
He encourages all of his.
So I like it during the first episode they mentioned that to understand the Murdoch family you need to watch Succession.
Statue of Darth Vader, and it talks
So
about them running.
now we're gonna get the bronzer. I have the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer, which I love a lot. Let's use this Makeup by Mario F4 brush. So I love this. That's why I have to. But I usually get the smaller one. I tried using this angled fan finishing brush from Real Techniques, which was supposed to be a dupe of the Patrick Ta sculpting brush. I think there's a learning curve to it, as I'm not really a great sculpting person. I'm more of, I just add little of the shadows just to bring back the dimension. And then here.
All of this really rubbed Rupert the wrong way.
So the skin enhancer, this is like my repurchase already. So this is my second one. I really like it. It's sheer, it's buildable, you can't go wrong with it. But the funny thing about it is that it hits pan early, because since you build it, you need to use more product. Unlike
He was still on the
others, which are more pigmented, right? So when I went to Reddit, upon checking, I saw like a user replied to a comment, and then she said, well, they said, sorry, that they usually buy the darker shade compared to what their usual shade is, so that they get to use less product because it's still sheer, but it's kind of like 2 coats of it already, which is good. Because in my case, that would be medium because this is light medium. I remember getting this before with the Skin Perfector, and then I used like forward shipping service. Didn't add protection, and then but then I checked that I think that in terms of that the Skin Perfector was really flimsy, so it ended up breaking. Because I tried purchasing before other powders and kind of went well. So we get also again the bronzer.
Taking himself out of the running and moving back to Australia to set up his own shop and start building his own little media empire.
Yeah, what was that?
Lachlan becomes more desirable to his father as a successor. I think that his dad kind of wants what he can't have.
You have to be a killer.
I was wondering about your succession. You said this week that virtually you'll die in the saddle, but you obviously have to think of it.
It would be very nice. It's every father's natural desire to see his children follow him if they're up to it. And we'll have to see.
And then to set it later, we're gonna use the Hourglass palette.
Around for a few more years.
Okay, so for blush, this has been in my stash for a while. This is one of like the blushes I've always wanted to own. And we're gonna be opening new products also that I purchased from the previous sales. Ideally, I'm on a no buy, low buy. So let's set it at that also. Right. And try to shop our stash. So this is the Patrick Ta blush duo in the shade Not Too Much. I'm gonna open it. The perfect neutral shade. My other favorite neutral is actually Mimi from Mesman Atelier.
There could be a coup and he could be pushed aside.
Okay, so for the powder brush, for the powder, we're gonna try doing the Patrick Ta method, wherein we're gonna get the powder first. I'm using the Morphe X Ariel brush A22, which is kind of like a diffuser brush. Sooner or later, I do want to get the Nikki LaRose BK Beauty brush, the N20 diffuser brush. So just tap that off. It's very pigmented, and then just swipe.
So Rupert and Lachlan want to create two new entities that will control the trust. And those entities will be able to override the one that exists currently. They're keeping it secret from all the other children. And they're going to do it under a crazy code name, Project Family.
Okay, that's like the part in the story where Kendall kept on saying that there was an underline under his name. Like, I think this was after Logan dies in the episode Connor's Wedding, which is one of like the best episodes in a series in history. You see there's that glow. Very nice. Okay, then I'm gonna dip it again. I'm doing it off camera.
He had no reason to believe there was any need to meet about the family trust. James was completely blindsided by this. Then his managing director received an agenda. He called James and said, "You need to look at this. Your dad is making a move for the entire empire." About a week after that, the Murdoch family get on the Zoom.
There's a lot of tension in the room.
I love when they say Murdoch family. It doesn't include the new kids.
Prudence and Liz, and his older brother Lachlan. And you have Rupert surrounded by 100 lawyers. He starts just kind of robotically reading from this script. He tells them,
I think it's not the same.
You'll still have your shares, but you'll have no voting power.
The fudge.
You'll have no ability to make decisions.
I always win.
it's just going to be Lachlan who has control.
Ew.
So the meeting does not go particularly well.
They're shouting, they're yelling.
It became very emotional.
I love you, but you are not serious people.
That he was willing to do something so provocative.
That's actually
and so
nice. And then we'll layer it with the powder.
This is what had become of his family.
Let's get the same Makeup by Mario brush.
You would take it to the left. That's the goal.
Because quick dry brush cleaners are expensive.
To go along with this,
So we're gonna use the end of the brush.
what's
And dip it for the very first time. So let's do this. Gonna show it.
Architect the whole thing.
And then
Liz can't contain herself. She says, "How are you going to get consensus with a gun to our heads?"
It was brutal.
beautiful.
It's total war.
Let's just add it here. That looks nice. Another one here. And now on episode 3. What I love about this brush, and I think this is being said multiple times, is that you can do a full face with just this brush, you know. Just wipe it in between, up to you or whatever. And then, remember what we use for concealer? I know this is typical, let's just add it here. Usually I also use the setting powder brush just to diffuse the line. So I think this is beautiful. And I think this will now be my go-to blush shade. To wipe it off. Very beautiful. Okay, we have it here. This is nice. Kind of bad with eyeliner. I used to be good. I don't know why. But I'm using now the Judydoll. I'm just gonna go to the next episode. Think again. No, I'm not gonna use this because it might ruin the look. So we're gonna go back with our eyebrow pencil and then just add like a shadow.
Murdochs.
It's not really a wing.
And you know, I would say with some humility that I think we have like gotten to know the family pretty well.
One day,
It's more of like tracing
we get
that
contacted
fold that I have
by this
here.
mystery person saying, "You're gonna find this pretty interesting, given what you do and who you cover." So we agreed to meet. All I can say is
Just a funny story about my eyes. So when I was a kid, it was more of like a monolid, and then it became like a half. So now it's kind of like partial. So usually double eyelids extend to the end, right? So this these creases or folds came in when I got older, and still with epicanthic folds there. So just a funny story. And I really don't do the egg yolk because I already have it here anyway.
Page was unbelievable.
Okay, now we're good. Let's try setting it with powder first. So at least the bronzer, I'm gonna use this Hourglass palette. This is actually the second palette or the Swan palette, but I just customized it with the fox cover, which is like a good story, I guess. A good story, mainly because the Deer palette reminds me of like my favorite athlete, my heart, Jamal Musiala, who is being called Bambi in the football world, so by FC Bayern fans. And then the fox, it's orange. It's usually connected to another favorite athlete of mine, which is Yannick Sinner, the tennis player. So we're gonna take the bronzer shade here. I'm gonna use the Rephr 05 brush.
After our story ran, everyone knew the family was suing each other over the desire to
For me, the Swan palette, despite being made for like light skin tones, it's more pigmented. So you can see there's more color there, right? I personally love the Deer palette's bronzer. because it's very buildable and sheer on me.
Family members.
But
We're going to
Hourglass formula, it's really hard to beat.
Murdochs were going to war in a pitched
There.
sword fight over the future of the entire empire.
So if I do want to diffuse like some of the areas, I can take the same brush, the blush, or
Early
use the
2024,
concealer brush.
before
But
the
that
New
would
York
be
Times
too
piece
much.
came out,
I'm ruining my own. So let's
I
just get the
approached
setting powder
James
brush and
really
then
just on a hunch
diffuse.
that he would have an interesting story to tell. He couldn't quite believe that
There.
his
I think this is
father
nice.
is willing to divide the family, maybe permanently. So when James was deposed as part
Okay,
of
so
the
you can get
preparation for the
the
trial, he was
eyelash
really ready
curler.
to
I'm
go to
using
battle.
this Shiseido
James spent
eyelash
20
curler.
years
I've been
as a senior
finding,
executive.
I mean,
He had been
it hard
in
to find like a
positions
good
where you
eyelash
have to be
curler
really aggressive.
because this
And
fits
so
my
he
left eye.
decided that he
But
was
then when
going
it comes to the
approach
right
whole
eye,
thing in a
it
spirit of corporate combat. But the
kind of
deposition
pinches.
was
And in this
much
economy,
more
it's
difficult for James
kind of
emotionally
absurd
than I
to
think
get
he was prepared
2
for.
eyelash curlers.
When he
And I have
walked
stubborn
into
Asian
the
lashes.
room, James
I'm not really a
saw
big
that it
fan of
wasn't just
mascara.
his father's
So I'll
lawyer
just
and
use
his
this
lawyer,
Heroine
but
Make
sitting in this
lash
office
base
was his father himself.
just to add some structure to it.
James didn't
Sometimes I
know
just
that
use
Rupert
the
would be there.
primer
This is the first time he had seen Rupert in years. They were
only.
fully estranged. His dad just sat down across from him. They didn't talk to each other. And
So I think
for
if
the next
you're
several hours,
Asian
Rupert's lawyer
or
just
you have
grilled
stubborn
James
Asian
with
lashes like the straight,
incredibly
flat, short
witheringly
ones,
personal questions.
the best products will be in
Questions like,
CJK
have you
Beauty
ever accomplished
because
anything
they're
on
made
your
for
own?
our lashes.
Or why don't you ever take responsibility for the things that go wrong in your life?
So I think this is
Why were you
alright
too
with
busy
me.
to call your dad on his 90th birthday? James told me that he tried to concentrate
So
on the
out of
lawyer's
count, I'm gonna
questions,
remove
but he
this
just kept looking over at his dad, who was staring inscrutably at
lip
his son.
product.
And every once in a while, Rupert would
Sorry,
pick up
I
his
used
phone
the Eden, I think.
and tap something out. And eventually,
Then
James
let's use
realized
this
that these
Rare Beauty
super aggressive,
lip pencil.
mean-spirited personal
This is in the
questions
shade Patient.
were actually
This was
coming from
a
his
limited
father.
edition then. Gonna
I
get
remember talking to James weeks later, and he was still sort of reeling from the experience. He couldn't quite believe what had happened. He was constantly analyzing it and trying to make sense about why his dad did what he did. The question that kept coming back to him was, how do we let it come to this?
If you look at the succession in 2011, James is in the box seat. Elizabeth walked away from the company, and Lachlan's back in Australia.
and then I'm gonna get shit.
James is running News Corp in Britain.
Okay, I'm gonna get
The
this
tabloids were making
Chanel,
an absolute
which
fortune.
was
He's
now
at the top
dull.
of what's now called News UK, their publishing empire in Great Britain.
I'm gonna get this
Four
Chanel
newspapers that
lipstick.
they own,
This
most
is the Rouge
importantly,
Coco.
the news of the world.
They have a villainous reputation in Britain for down-market tabloids and conservative
In the shade
politics.
Mademoiselle.
One of Rupert's editors once gave a staff talk. He said, imagine the old man down the end of the bar.
I think for me
Doesn't like
it's
immigrants.
my
Doesn't like
kind of
books.
my lips but
He
better
thinks that
shade.
there's too much smut
So
on TV,
I have
but he wants to see tits in the newspaper.
Okay.
That's who we're running for.
You're feasting on the missteps and embarrassments of celebrities.
I think we're good.
If you were a lawyer, if you were a politician,
I saw this technique wherein you do your setting spray first before the finishing powder, so we'll do that.
you were very
I am gonna get my setting spray, which is the Scandinavia makeup finishing spray. This is the bridal one. Shake it, spray it. Okay, Good to go. This looks nice.
I went to work for the News of the World because I liked its reputation.
Oh, I forgot to add my highlighter. Because I'm trying to finish this. This is the Saie Glow Sculpt. Can be a blush, can be a highlighter, blush lighter. It's good. I've hit pan. I'm trying to finish this. I already have the refill, but it's already there. So for the finishing powder, I'm gonna use my Ambient Lighting palette from Hourglass. I think by this point, I do hope Hourglass sees this. Love your products. Please add me their PR. So we're gonna use this. I usually don't have like anything to do with it. So any technique or any tips. But what I usually do is I get the darker one, which is the Radiant Light around the bronzer. Usually I just mix all of them just for sport. I'm gonna use again the same Rephr number 5 brush.
And the News of the World, that was Rebecca Brooks.
Rebecca Brooks was the features editor.
And then I'm usually use the dim light and incandescent light for the center of the face.
The biggest newspaper in the world. Rebecca Brooks was sort of the daughter that Rupert never had because she was unfailingly loyal to him. Elizabeth
Oh, the
Rebecca Brooks is an excellent example of a senior Rupert Murdoch executive.
the president of Jan's network.
Knows all about newspapers, makes quick decisions, is resourceful.
quite hot.
I actually like the shade incandescent light. As you can see, it's the most fan for now. I just don't think it comes in singles aside from the palette.
No moaning or excuses. It was get the story.
There you go.
Throughout the 2000s,
And I think we're good.
the world was going gangbusters. They
So
were
for my
getting
kit,
great
I'll just
soups about
like my makeup kit
celebrities,
at the office. I think
politicians, football stars.
the Patrick
Every
brow blush will
entity
last. So I'll just
in the
bring
UK was trying to get to the
my
bottom of it.
I'll just
How are
bring
they doing that?
my Chanel lipstick
The Murdoch organisation.
and
News of the World was an organised crime.
usually I bring a lipstick or a lippy,
Scores of people,
the eyebrow pencil,
journalists,
and
private detectives, trained
just
on lawful information.
a blotting powder. So it's gonna be either the Gucci or probably the Charlotte Tilbury.
They went on all over the world.
So thank you so much for getting ready with me. This is 14 minutes long. I'm gonna try not to cut it in post, mainly because I just want to get it out there. Thank you. Bye.